Deep within a forgotten forest, shrouded in mist and mystery, lay a secret. The trees stood tall, ancient sentinels guarding the earth. Their branches, gnarled and twisted, whispered tales of bygone eras. Sunlight struggled to pierce the dense canopy above. The air hung heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. This was a place where time seemed to stand still. At the heart of this primeval woodland stood a tree unlike any other. It was a giant, its trunk wider than any 10 men could encircle. Its roots burrowed deep into the earth, anchoring it like a titan. The bark was a tapestry of textures and hues, a living canvas of time. But it was the tree's aura that captivated the soul. This was the talking tree, a legend whispered among the tribes who lived at the forest's edge. Some dismissed it as mere folklore, a tale spun to frighten children and ward off trespassers. Others, however, spoke of the tree with reverence, believing it to be a source of profound knowledge and guidance. Generations passed, and the stories of the talking tree were woven into the fabric of local lore. Each telling embellished the legend, adding layers of wonder and intrigue. Some recounted tales of ancient heroes seeking the tree's counsel before embarking on perilous quests. Then one night, a storm of unimaginable fury descended upon the forest. Lightning split the sky, illuminating the terrified faces of woodland creatures seeking shelter. Thunder shook the very foundations of the earth, its roar echoing through the canyons of the trees. The wind howled like a banshee, tearing at branches and uprooting even the sturdiest of oaks. When it finally subsided, leaving behind an eerie silence, the forest was forever changed. Countless trees lay broken and uprooted, their once proud forms now scattered debris. But amidst the devastation, the talking tree stood tall, weathered but unbroken. The storm had stripped away its bark, leaving its trunk bare and scarred, yet it found its voice.
I hear you. I'm here to listen.
Years turned into decades, the memory of the great storm fading into legend. The talking tree, its wounds slowly healing, became a beacon for those who dared to seek it out. One such seeker was a young explorer named Alara. Driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge, she journeyed for months, following whispers and rumors that led her to the heart of the forest. Alara had studied ancient maps and consulted with village elders, piecing together fragments of information about the tree's whereabouts. Armed with her wits, her compass, and an unwavering belief in the power of discovery, Alara ventured deep into the woods. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she stumbled upon a clearing, and there, bathed in the ethereal glow of the setting sun, stood the talking tree. Its sheer size took her breath away. The gnarled bark seemed to whisper stories of 1,000 lifetimes. As she approached, a sense of peace washed over her, a feeling of coming home after a long and arduous journey.
It spoke of time and change, of growth and decay, of the interconnectedness of all living things.
I spent days, maybe even weeks, beneath the talking tree's protective boughs.
I speak of civilizations that have risen and fallen, of the ebb and flow of history, of the delicate balance of nature.
The tree's wisdom was not given freely, but earned through patience, respect, and a willingness to listen with an open mind.
Look beyond the surface of things, Ilara. Question everything you think you know. Trust your intuition, your inner voice above all else.
As Alara absorbed the talking tree's teachings, she felt a profound transformation taking place within her. The world, once viewed through the lens of logic and reason, now shimmered with unseen connections and possibilities.
I began to understand that true knowledge was not something to be acquired, but rather something to be experienced.
Word of Alara's encounter with the talking tree spread like wildfire. People from far and wide, drawn by the promise of wisdom and enlightenment, flocked to the forest.
I welcome all who seek solace from grief or guidance at a crossroads in their lives. I offer insights and perspectives that resonate with your deepest needs. No easy answers, no quick fixes. Reflect, and you'll find your own truth by listening to the whispers of your heart.
The growing fame of the talking tree did not go unnoticed. Scholars, skeptics, and religious leaders from distant lands embarked on expeditions to witness this botanical marvel firsthand.
I approached this tree with skepticism, armed with scientific instruments and a determination to find a rational explanation for its purported abilities.
Silas Ravenswood, on the other hand, approached the talking tree not with scientific curiosity, but with reverence and an open heart.
I believe this tree to be a conduit to a higher consciousness. a living testament to the interconnectedness of all things.
Their paths inevitably crossed at the foot of the talking tree, their contrasting viewpoints clashing like thunder and lightning.
You seek to dissect the universe with your instruments and equations, but some mysteries are not meant to be solved. They are meant to be experienced.
Experience without evidence is nothing more than delusion. I deal in facts, not fairy tales.
Their debate raged on, each man clinging to his convictions. Yet despite their differences, both were forever changed by their encounter with the talking tree.
Though unable to explain it scientifically, I can't shake the feeling that I have witnessed something truly extraordinary.
My beliefs are reaffirmed. The universe is a place of infinite wonder and mystery.
The talking tree had a way of touching the hearts of all who came to it. Time, as it always does, continued its relentless march. Seasons changed. Leaves turned from vibrant green to fiery hues of gold and crimson, and then fell silent to the earth, only to be reborn again with the coming of spring. The talking tree remained a steadfast presence through it all, a silent sentinel witnessing the ebb and flow of life. Then, one day, the unthinkable happened. The talking tree vanished. No storm ravaged the forest, no earthquake shook the earth. It simply disappeared, leaving behind only an empty clearing and a sense of profound loss. Some whispered that the tree had grown tired of the material world and had ascended to a higher plane of existence. Others claimed that it had never truly existed, that it had always been a figment of collective imagination, a symbol of hope and wisdom that had served its purpose. The news of the talking tree's disappearance spread like wildfire, leaving a void in the hearts of those who had found solace and guidance in its presence.
Now an old man, I return to the forest, my scientific instruments forgotten. I stand in the empty clearing, filled with a strange mixture of sadness and wonder. Had I been wrong all along?
My hair now as white as snow, I also return to the forest. I sit in the center of the clearing where the talking tree had once stood and close my eyes. I can still feel the tree's presence, not as a physical entity, but as an energy that permeates the very air I breathe. The stories never truly vanish. They simply find new ways to make themselves heard.
The talking tree was gone, but its legend lived on. Tales of its wisdom and its mysterious disappearance were passed down through generations, each retelling adding new layers of meaning and interpretation. Some clung to the belief that the tree still existed, hidden away in a remote corner of the world, waiting for the right time to reveal itself once more. Others found solace in the idea that the tree's spirit lived on in the hearts of those who had been touched by its presence. And so, the forest stood silent once more, its secrets safely guarded by the trees. But if one listened closely, truly listened with an open heart and a quiet mind, one could almost hear the echoes of the talking tree's voice whispering on the wind. The world is full of stories waiting to be heard. All we need to do is listen.